So I've been asked about the most inspiring Steemit story for me, and no question, first one that comes to mind is always the story of Darth Neva. He's one of our users. This happened a couple of months ago, but he has some kind of disorder that causes him to get cysts on his spine, and it severely limits his mobility. I think he's paralyzed from at least the waist down, but I think even his arms from the neck down, he has difficulty moving. And the cysts had grown to a size where they actually threatened his life, and so he needed surgery. And I believe he's somewhere in Eastern Asia. And so he came on Steemit and he wrote a post about the surgery that he needed and how much he needed. And a lot of people immediately stepped up and started sending donations. But the more interesting thing, I think, is that the post wound up making more than enough for his surgery purely through upvotes, which I think is really interesting because, you know, we don't know exactly how much our individual upvotes are going to convey to a post, and we certainly don't know what the aggregate is going to be. And yet, in the end, the aggregate wound up being more than enough for the surgery. That being said, I think he got even more in donations, but also super important is that nobody went back to him and was like, hey man, we gave you enough money for your surgery, now give us some back. No. And I think that's because it wasn't pity, it wasn't charity. It sounds bad, but I think it's an important lesson that tragedy is actually extremely compelling content. And one of the things that I find really beautiful about Steemit is that it enables you at least to monetize the horrible things that happen to you. And I'm not saying everything has to be about money, but when horrible things happen to you, it's bad enough that they happen to you. At least with Steemit, with posting to Steem, you can express yourself about them, you can explore the tragedy, you can request feedback about what you might have done differently, you can grow from it, and at the same time, profit from it. And I think that helps mitigate the tragedy. And I think Darth Neva is a really good example of that. You know, he had this problem. It was going to be a problem regardless of whether Steemit existed or not. He came to the platform. He told his story. He got rewarded for it. And I think we all felt that the money we conveyed to him was money well spent. Now, the part of the story that amazed me the absolute most was that when he got out of the surgery, I think he posted the day of his surgery. He got the surgery, later in the day, he put a post up, right? Because he was genuinely communicating with us. We genuinely like communicating with one another on Steemit. And he wanted to update us on what was going on. He didn't wait weeks, you know, he didn't try to get it perfect. He was eager, even excited to communicate with us. And I was blown away by the fact that the thing he clearly seemed most excited about was not that we'd just helped save his life, because this was a life-threatening situation which he couldn't have afforded without the Steem blockchain and the rewards that we as a community gave to him. He was most excited about the fact that we'd made him into a dolphin, right? You know, on the site we have these designations: minnows, dolphins, orcas, whales, that denote the amount of steam power we have. And that was clearly what was most exciting to him. And it's stories like that I think really drive us to work the long hours we work to deliver the quality of code and other work product that we demand. We don't settle for second best. We are the fastest blockchain. We are the most productive blockchain team. And it's stories like that. Because that story is actually playing out every day on more micro levels, because everybody posting to Steem through either Steemit or busy.org or ChainBB is getting money that they wouldn't have otherwise have gotten for their content, right? We're in this amazingly privileged position of being the only social network where anyone can join for free and make some money. Everybody has the equal shot at getting paid for their content. And thousands of people make some amount of money every day. And so while Darth Neva's story is extremely kind of compelling and rare and amazing, it plays out on an individual level every single day, because everybody's got their problems, everybody's got their tragedy, and every little bit of money helps, right? And so, yeah, that's the most inspiring story, but everybody's story is inspiring on this platform, and I think that's really at the core of what drives us as a team. So that's my answer to BitRocker 2020's question. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy using Steemit.com. Steam on!